Hello, parents of infants and newborns. This is John Casey. I'm the father of a teenager, author of Baby Babble Wordplay, Unlock Your Child's Genius, and host of this channel, High Value Parenting. For today, I'm going to go over briefly the big picture, the reason behind all the videos, and why I think it's of particular importance to you to understand why I've made them and how you can benefit from them. So let's start. On the wall behind me, this picture here, this beautifully hand-drawn matrix rectangle of all those squares, represents all the months in your child's first 18 years. So it's 18 across and 12 high. The ones on the right, the purple thicker lines, indicate the first 60 months, the first 5 years of your child's life, and all the months that will be available for you to teach them different things. If you notice in the upper left-hand corner, I have highlighted the very first month, the very first square, with green. That's to indicate just the size of one square, 1 month, relative to the 216 months that you will be able to teach your child many, many things. So with that kind of time frame, you might assume, or one might assume, that you have a great plan for all the things you're going to teach, right? No, most parents don't have any plan about what they're going to teach, and although I don't judge them harshly for this, since I didn't either at the time, it turns out that the results we get at the end of 18 years and each year depend on the plan we have for teaching our child. Now, obviously, taking care of a child is a lot of work with the nurturing and the care on a day-to-day basis. That's not to say that there's not a lot involved there. However, in addition to all of that, what's going to affect their entire lives is how much training or knowledge or learning or teaching that you provide to your child. So for that first 5 years, most parents don't have a whole lot of planning that goes into it. And then the execution of that, there's not a lot of that there either. Sometimes, historically, they might have taught the alphabet, or maybe they wait for kindergarten, maybe they allow the school to teach your kids how to count. The problem being, if we were to teach you something and you signed up for maybe a college degree or some other set of courses, and I said, we're just going to play it by ear, find out what we do that day, maybe do nothing, you'd get pretty upset after a while when you knew you weren't learning stuff and that's why you were there. So your child is going to get frustrated with you. They can't tell you that they're frustrated with you. That wouldn't go over well. But what's going to happen is, at the end of the first 5 years, when your child's get ready to go to kindergarten, but anyway, at their 5th birthday, you're going to have a child that's aged 5 years. But if you don't have some sort of plan, what you're going to do month after month, and how you're going to make a progression towards giving your child a lot of the tools and resources they need in their heads moving forward, you're really doing them a disservice. Now, everybody my age did not get the benefit of having a plan for the first 5 years. So it's relatively new, but it's highly beneficial. And so there's many options once you know that you can have a 5-year plan of what to do. And many parents are reluctant to engage with their children in a teaching way because there's some stigma of teaching your own kids. I've seen it and I don't understand it, but the point of it is, if you make a point to teach certain things, you can then check later to see whether they've been learned. Everything you do can take on a teaching flavor. So as each month goes by, and you're following your teaching plan for your child, you can take note of whether or not your child is responding, whether you continue what you're doing, or whether you have to make allowances for your child's level of development. But the really important part of that is for you to have an idea of the abilities and the knowledge that you want your child to have by the age of 5, so that you can take the time and interact and put that information in front of them and say it in front of them so they can hear it and see it, so that they have the memories to build up. As you look back at my beautifully hand-drawn chart again, you can think of all the qualities you have now that you might have wished you had at an earlier age. That would be a good starting point in deciding what things you want to teach earlier. You know, there's some age-appropriate stuff in there too. But for example, many children will take chemistry in high school, and many of them won't do very well at it. It's not that chemistry is going to be difficult for some people. It's that if they had the instruction a little earlier, they would have done better, because they have more time to learn and more time to practice and get familiar with the subject matter. So that anything I'd want to teach you, if I wanted you to be good at it a year from now, and I started 1 year from now to teach you, you're not going to have any information at all on that first day. But if I started today and taught you every day for a year, you definitely have more knowledge than if I just waited a year. And it doesn't have to do with you, it just has to do with the opportunity for you to learn. So by making this concerted effort each day for you to put information and experience in front of your child on a range of subjects to be decided by you, you're giving them a lot more opportunity to remember these things. You're giving them the chance to have the experience of watching you do things and talk to them and show them things and interact with them. And these experiences will be for them to draw on later. So the advantage that you want to be able to give your child is the ability to have mental resources that are available to solve problems in their future. And when you include certain activities in there, you're ensuring that those mental resources or memories are available later. If you think about all the problems that you've encountered in your life and how you had to go find the solutions afterwards to fix those problems, most of those solutions were already available and you just didn't know you'd be needing them. And this is the same for all people. So by giving your child this information earlier, they might encounter these similar problems, but they'll have the tools to solve these problems. And that is a great gift that you can give them and a great advantage. So of all the things that you need to do, having this 1-year plan and a 3-year plan and a 5-year plan, however much time you're going to put into it, is going to help you in figuring that out. Now, I have sort of pre-made plans for 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years. You don't have to use my plan, but you need to have some plan if you're going to take advantage of this amount of time, because as we get older, we don't get any time back. And every day that you spend without teaching your child something that they can remember and use later, you've kind of wasted that opportunity, even if you've gotten other things done that had to be done that day. Day after day of wasted time, it leads to a lot of people that they become adults, they're 18, they can't do anything, they can't take care of themselves. They have other major problems in their lives, and much of that's preventable. And I want you to be able to have the opportunity to prevent all sorts of problems in your child's life and to give them many more advantages and many opportunities that they will not have without you taking that time and the initiative to give them those lessons. So that's it for now. I hope I've made some things clear, and I'm going to wish you a good evening and write comments below. Thank you.